Homeowners helping homeowners with expert advice. And by the 2013 Honda Civic, Canada's best-selling car 15 years in a row. Honda, the official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays.
Welcome inside the Rogers Center. It's a Saturday afternoon game, middle game of a three-game series against the Kansas City Royals. Blue Jays won the opener 3-2 on just 4 hits. The Royals had 9 hits, but they must have just 2 runs in that tough loss. They scored late in the ballgame, but couldn't cash in that tying run. Eric Hosmer is the third hitter in the lineup. Now it's time for the starting lineups. They're brought to you by Quaker State. Real, durable oil. Right at the top of the order, the left fielder Alex Gordon has been outstanding against the Blue Jays. This season, he's at .389 with a pair of RBIs. He scored 2 runs. He's always been a great defensive left fielder, hitting at the top of the order. And Mike Moustakas, he absolutely loves hitting here at Rogers Center. In fact, he's got an 8-game hit streak in this ballpark, hitting .438 with 5 doubles, a home run, and 8 RBIs. He had a big single in the 9th inning in last night's game, and they are set to take on R.A. Dickey and the Blue Jays.
R.A. Dickey making his 29th start of the year. In his last start, he beat the Yankees, giving up just 2 runs over 6.1 innings. And R.A.'s gone 6+ innings in 13 straight starts, so he's getting better at getting deeper into the ball game. Of course, the roof is closed as we speak, and he prefers it that way. I'm not really sure it really matters, but he's got to try to avoid the home run and try to avoid the multi-run inning. When he does that, he usually has a good chance to win.
R.A. Dickey has given up 20 of his 29 home runs here at Rogers Center, and I'm with you. I'm not sure it makes a difference one way or the other. You throw quality pitches, you keep the ball in the ballpark. Let's take a look at the defense behind Dickey. It's Davis, Gose, and Sierra from left to right in the outfield. Great speed and some strong throwing arms. Brett Lawrie's put on a show recently defensively at third base. Ray is starting to move around a little bit better on that sore ankle. How about Ryan Goins? What a job he has done. He's making his 8th start at second base. Edwin Encarnacion is the first sacker, and behind the plate, as always with the knuckleballer, is Josh Thole. The defense is important, and Rajai Davis can really run them down in the outfield, and there figures to be some fly balls hit with R.A. Dickey on the mound, so they have Davis in left field to complement the 2 rookies in Gose and Sierra. So fly balls are going to be part of this game today, and you got Davis out there to run them down. So Dickey is set. He's closing in on 200 innings for his 3rd consecutive season. His record is 12-10, as Jack mentioned. This is his 29th start of the season.
10-12. You have the numbers right, just wrong order. But yeah, he's trying to get back to 500, and certainly would love to do that. He's got a few more starts before the end of the season, the whole month of September.
So Alex Gordon steps in, and Dickey is ready. Here's the first pitch of the ball game. It is in there for strike 1, and we are underway. The roof is closed here at Rogers Center. There have been storms in the area all morning long. Takes it inside. The appeal down to third base, and Paul Emmel said no swing. It's a ball and a strike. Alex Gordon, now 29 years old. He's won back-to-back Gold Gloves in left field, and he has made some transition from third base to the outfield. When he was first drafted, he was thought to be the heir apparent to George Brett at third. And that's a pretty tough mantle to wear for a young player, to replace the Hall of Famer.
Yeah, he had an opportunity to put the Royals ahead last night in the 9th inning, made the last out of the game, grounded out to second base, but he's a guy that'll battle you.
Cut out and missed. Dickey has his first strikeout of the afternoon. 1 down.
R.A. Dickey in his last 6 starts, you can see his record, but he could use some more run support, no question about it. He's the kind of guy that has to work a lot like Mark Gurley did last night. Keep the game close and hope that the guys score. The Blue Jays just haven't produced a lot of runs with this new look lineup. That doesn't mean they won't today.
Emilio Bonifacio goes after the first pitch and fouls it back. Bonifacio singled in his first at bat. He had an infield hit and literally beat Adam Lind to the bag at first base, and then he was called out on a bang play in the 8th inning on a bunt attempt. Looked like he beat the throw to first base. On the ground, but foul. You can see how quickly Dickey broke toward first, well aware of the speed of Bonifacio.
Well, unlike Dickey and Brett Cecil, who fall off on the other side as left-handers, Dickey's going to be falling off towards the first base line, so it's a little bit easier for him to get a jump towards the bag.
Here's the 0-2. Back-to-back strikeouts for Dickey to start the game. Late, quick movement in the strike zone.
You'll watch this pitch. There's the knuckleball, and all of a sudden the bottom just drops out of it. Emilio swinging underneath the pitch.
Eric Hosmer, one of the young budding stars of the Royals, just 23 years old. This is his 3rd big league season. Ball on the strike. That floated up and away for a ball. Dickey, as we mentioned, the knuckleball, very temperamental pitch, and this was popped in the air. Reyes quickly out from short, and that's going to drop into no man's land. Hosmer with a big turn at first. He will stop there with a 2-out bloop single.
Well, it's hard to believe that anybody works faster than last night's starter Mark Buehrle, but R.A. Dickey does just that, averaging 17.9 seconds in between pitches. He's working quickly here already in this game, but the base hit will slow things down a little bit.
That's just something you can't do about this. Is literally hit into no man's land. Reyes is going out. Ghost was over in the right center side of center field. He had a long run and couldn't make the play. 2 outs. Billy Butler, the DH, takes his strike. Butler last night had a rough night. Finished up 0 for 4. Struck out and hit into a double play. He was victimized by that terrific defensive play at third by Brett Lawrie. He chopped the ball off home plate, and Lawrie jumped in the air, took it while he was in the air with his bare hand, and threw all in one motion to get Butler at first. Josh Tolley backhanded that ball in the dirt.
Yeah, it was a terrific play last night. Of course, Billy Butler, not the fastest guy in the world, but it took a hop on the throw from Brett Lawrie to get him, and Brett just trying to get it towards the bag. He didn't have anything to get on that throw because his feet weren't planted on the ground.
Little chopper off the plate. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Well, we mentioned the pitching and defense formula worked to a T last night. Mark Buehrle held the Royals to just 4 hits. He shut them out for 7 innings. The Blue Jays won 3-2 on just 4 hits. Played tight defense all night long. Dickey is set. Here's the 2-2. Strike 3 call. Billy Butler didn't like the call. R.A. Dickey strikes out the side to set the tone for this ball game. For the order, Reyes has been struggling a bit at the plate. He finished up 0-for-3 with a walk in last night's game. Ryan Goins, he's not struggling at all. He's hit in his first 7 big league games. He's got 11 hits in those 7 games for a .423 average. And Adam Lind, today he's the DH because he's put up good numbers against Jeremy Guthrie. A .366 average with some damage. 3 doubles, a home run, 2 RBIs. Lind will be in the cleanup spot. They are set to take on Jeremy Guthrie.
Jeremy Guthrie making his 28th start of the year. He won last Monday at Kauffman Stadium, an 11-1 decision over the Tampa Bay Rays. In that game, he worked 5 innings and he allowed 6 hits. But Guthrie's been kind of an up and down guy this year, and he's pretty much been that way his whole career. At times he can be lights out, other times he struggles.
Guthrie misses with that first pitch. He's always had a great arm, but it has been a roller coaster ride for him. Jose Reyes. Two and 0. Guthrie signed originally with the Cleveland Indians. He's now 34 years old. There's a strike. He was a first-round pick, 22nd pick overall in 2002 out of Stanford University. A bit of a changeup in there for his strike. Guthrie was a very good high school athlete. In fact, he was recruited to go to BYU and pitch and possibly play football there as well.
Went to high school in Oregon.
Ball is hit into center field. Gerard Dyson is there and makes the catch, 1 down. Kansas City Royals have a pretty good outfield as well. 2-time Gold Glover Alex Gordon in left field. Gerard Dyson, he can really go get it in center, and David Lowe gets a start in right field. On the infield, Mike Moustakas and Alcides Escobar on the left side of the infield. Former Blue Jay Emilio Bonifacio and Eric Hosmer on the right side. And Sal Perez, the 23-year-old backstop for the Royals, one of the best young catchers in all of baseball. Really takes a leadership role behind the plate. Just 23 years old, really starting to come into his own. The thing I like about him, you know, he's a big guy, 6'3", 245, but look at the size of that glove. It's a little tiny glove, and generally you can see the glove of a catcher and recognize that he's got good hands. He wants a small glove, not unlike Robbie Alomar at second base. They want to feel that baseball.
Well, that helps for him to get rid of the ball quickly as a thrower because it's not as big. He can find the ball. He knows exactly where it is. But he's got big hands, which make that glove look small. He's just a big guy, but you're right, Buck. He's got great instincts for the game, and he's a guy that you can almost see was built to be a catcher.
Ryan Goins takes a breaking ball in the dirt.
And that's what Perez does so well. He just able to shift his weight, transfer his body, get that big chest of his out over the top of the ball, and trust his hands to pick it.
Bouncing ball up the middle, and how about Ryan Goins? He extends his hit streak to 8 games. And that ties Jesse Barfield for the longest hit streak to begin a major league career in franchise history.
Pretty good. Tomorrow he'll have a chance to break that record. The way he's hitting right now, everybody would assume that's going to be a real possibility. Ryan Goins been a big plus for the Jays since being called up from Rochester.
Very simple approach. So Edwin Encarnacion will step in. He takes a strike. Guthrie is one of those guys that's going to give you a fastball. He comes at you with fastballs. He wants to pitch ahead, and then he will expand the zone after throwing fastballs. Ball and a strike. Encarnacion has a couple of home runs against Guthrie. Two balls and a strike. R.A. Dickey struck out the side in the first inning. Gave up a 2-out single, a little bloop into center. That changeup is already part of the mix for Guthrie.
Yeah, we're talking about Guthrie and his road to the big leagues. He originally was drafted by the Pittsburgh Pirates, and that was back when the Pirates were a lot like the Kansas City Royals have been for the last decade plus. They were just a poor baseball team, and you wonder how many guys were drafted by Pittsburgh and just turned it down, went back to school. Guthrie was one of those guys.
Yeah, and Guthrie, as we mentioned, went to BYU, and then, as is the case with so many young Mormon students, he went on his Mormon mission for 2 years. There goes Goins, a base hit to left field. Goins will turn and go to third base. Gordon throws in a hurry and gets him. Alex Gordon, a former infielder, threw that ball like a third baseman and throws out Ryan Goins. And Jeremy Guthrie appreciative of the fine defense from Alex Gordon. Gordon picks up his 13th outfield assist.
Well, ball's hit hard right to Alex Gordon, and you're right. Ryan Goins makes the decision, and the slide would have been great except for one thing. That was a perfect throw right on the money as he's running, and all Mike Moustakas had to do is catch the ball, and the tag was right there.
And Gordon started out his career as a third baseman and then moved to the outfield. He had 20 assists from left field his first year in the outfield in 2011, and that was his 13th of this season. Right on the money. Adam Lind takes the first pitch strike.
We'll see this play again as it develops. Ryan Goins just getting to second base about the time that Gordon gets the ball. The perfect throw right there, right on the bag. And Goins just slides right into the throw.
Hit and run, and oftentimes you see that ball hit so hard you can't run. But I think that was a good gamble by Goins. Had to take a perfect throw to get him, and why not in the first inning?
Well, the old rule is you don't make the first out at third base or home, but that was the second out of the inning.
Adam Lind drove in the first 2 runs of the game yesterday with a 1-out, 2-run single to center. Three and 1 to Lind. We'd mentioned Lind has a home run against Guthrie. He's also hit .366 against the Royals righty. 15 for 41. Good fastball right at the top of the strike zone. So it's a full count. Eric Hosmer, the first baseman. Looks like he's going to stay in front. Now he's going to move behind the runner. Brett Lawrie is on deck. Hosmer backing up behind Encarnacion with a full count and 2 outs. There goes the runner. Ball is ripped into right field. Encarnacion turns around second. He'll go to third. Ball comes into the cutoff man. So Lind continues to hit the ball hard against Jeremy Guthrie. That's the 3rd hit of the inning.
Here's the pitch, a slider that he didn't really get on top of. Ball was just starting to break, but Adam Lind puts the head of the bat right on the ball and drives it to right field. Edwin kind of hobbling around second base, but easily gets to third base because of the reaction that he had going from contact.
So Brett Lawrie with a chance to put the Blue Jays out on top early. That's the first pitch right on the inside corner. Lawrie hasn't seen an awful lot of Jeremy Guthrie. He's just 1 for 3, but that hit was a home run.
Guthrie kind of coming 3/4 sidearm right there, trying to show Lawrie a different look.
Inside, using that fastball. Bounced off home plate. Guthrie has to wait for it, unloads in a hurry, and the inning is over. The Blue Jays get 3 hits off Jeremy Guthrie, but strand a pair. Still a scoreless game after 1. down of the game brought to you by the new BlackBerry Z10 and Q10, built to keep you moving.
Sneak peek is the wins by the starters. You can see Mark Burley kind of climbing as he keeps pitching better the second half, leading the team with 10 wins or 11 wins. R.A. Dickey's got 10, and everybody else kind of trying to figure things out. 4 guys tied with 2 wins. That's not going to get it done.
Mike Moustakas fouls off the first pitch. The Toronto Blue Jays, as a staff, have 35 wins from their starters. For comparison's sake, the Tigers lead baseball with 65. St. Louis Cardinals have 63. There's a broken bat, little liner to the second baseman, 1 down. But when you look at the starters around baseball, it's the usual suspects. And when those teams are getting wins from their starters, they're going to be at the top of their division. The Tigers, as we mentioned, 65 wins. Then the Cardinals, 63. Atlanta Braves have 57. Cincinnati Reds, 56. The Boston Red Sox, 55, tied with Tampa Bay.
No different than football, really. There's no team ever going to win a football game with, or at least a football championship without a good quarterback. In baseball, your pitcher controls the game, sets the tempo, and really rallies the guys behind him.
Sal Perez, the young catcher. Perez is from Venezuela. Jumps back from an inside pitch. Perez is from Valencia, Venezuela, which is really a hotbed of baseball in Venezuela. Here's a look at that knuckleball up and in. He bails out. He takes a strike. You remember Henderson Alvarez, the young pitcher for the Blue Jays that was dealt to Miami, was also from Valencia. Perez takes ball 4. Fans, if you want your baseball questions answered by our team of experts, email asktheexperts@sportsnet.ca. Keep your eye out for the home hardware Ask the Experts segment later on in the game. So that's the first walk of the afternoon issued by R.A. Dickey. That'll bring David Lowe to the plate. Lowe getting a start in right field. Goes after that first pitch.
Lowe got a pinch hit opportunity in the 9th inning. Yesterday came in for Justin Maxwell. Gets a start here today in right field.
Outside, ball on the strike. Lowe's now 27 years old. He's another homegrown player for Kansas City. He was an 11th round pick in 2007. Last year he got up to the Royals for 20 games, a total of 59 at bats. Takes a close one inside. You would imagine that David Lowe hasn't faced too many knuckleballers in his career.
More than likely not, unless it was in high school and one of his buddies decided to throw BP to him and mess around one day.
There's a fly ball hit the center. Ghost backs up and makes the catch. 2 outs. I can remember when I first faced Wilbur Wood of the Chicago White Sox, and that was a real oddity. And he was a left-handed knuckleballer, and something that's even more rare today. But boy, he had a nasty one, and he threw a lot.
Yeah. Growing up in California, you probably played more high school ball and amateur ball than most kids in the upper Midwest here, including all of Canada. And I imagine you never saw a knuckleball in high school.
Never did. No. Nobody ever threw one. And of course, in the 60s, Hoyt Wilhelm and Eddie Fisher were 2 prominent knuckleballers that were in the big league. So we knew about them, but we rarely saw one. There's a base hit to left field for Gerard Dyson. Perez will stop at second. That base hit comes with 2 outs. Second hit by the Royals off of Dickey this afternoon. So that'll bring to the plate the number 9 hitter, the shortstop, Alcides Escobar. Escobar was originally part of the Brewers, and he came to Kansas City in a trade. with the Brewers that included Zach Greinke. He's now 26 years old. He too is from Venezuela. There's a base hit to center field. Perez is being waved around third. Ghost comes up throwing, and the throw is offline, and Kansas City has taken a 1-0 lead. A 2-out RBI single by Alcides Escobar drives in the first run of the ball game.
Escobar now waiting around, hits that first pitch he sees. It's a knuckleball, but it kind of stays up, doesn't really do much, and he just shoots it right back up the middle. Ghost throws left-handed. He's coming to his right, a little awkward for him, and just doesn't get the line right. Throws it way up the first base line.
For Escobar, that's his 45th RBI. The Royals have good speed on the bases. Back to the top of the order, the leadoff man, left fielder Alex Gordon. Little tapper out in front of home plate. Dickey fields and throws to first to end the inning. But Kansas City scores a run on a walk and 2 singles. They've taken a 1-0 lead.
On Sportsnet, brought to you by the 2013 Honda Civic, Canada's best-selling car 15 years in a row. Honda, the official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays.
Kansas City with a 1-0 lead. Rajai Davis bunts the first pitch. Foul out of play. Davis starting in left field this afternoon. Pops this one up. Shallow right field. David Lowe comes in, makes the catch. 1 quick out.
Jeremy Guthrie, here's our scouting report on him. Primarily a fastball guy, but he does mix in his other pitches, and he has to. I think more and more people are realizing, and here's a guy that's 34 years old. He's been around the game for quite some time, realizing that it's not all about power. You've got to be able to take something off some pitches and locate.
Jumps ahead of Josh Tolley with a fastball. Tolley is late on that pitch and slices it into the seats. Jack, you mentioned Guthrie was drafted by the Pirates in 2001 as the 3rd pick. Their 3rd pick. He was a 3rd-round pick. Then moved to the 1st round in 2002. He was drafted out of high school by the Mets in the 15th round. Played in Southern Oregon. He went to Ashland High School. But then, as we mentioned, he Chose to go to Brigham Young University. Cut on and miss. Good fastball at 94. 2 quick outs for Guthrie here in the second.
That last pitch to me is the best pitch in baseball. Right underneath the hands, inside corner. Very few guys can do much damage with this pitch. You can see just getting under it, inside out swing for Josh Thole, but didn't make contact. Great location right there on that fastball.
First pitch strike to Moises Sierra. We had talked about pitching. Last night we began a conversation because of Mark Buehrle and the way he pitches. This is a pop-up and it's going to be in foul territory. Hosmer is there. The inning is over. Guthrie has a 1-2-3 inning. Just 8 pitches for Guthrie. The future of Canadian baseball, September 20th through the 24th at Rogers Center. Blue Jays Hall of Famer Roberto Alomar will host a showcase baseball tournament at Rogers Center, highlighting some of Canada's best amateur baseballs with college eligibility. 10 teams across the country will represent Canada, with a winner being crowned on September 24th. Tournament passes are now available at bluejays.com/T12. Robbie Alomar in the house this afternoon, certainly putting his name on a worthwhile tournament. September 20th through the 24th. This ball is headed toward the gap. Sierra giving chase, and he's not going to get there. One hop off the fence, and hustling around the bases is Emilio Bonifacio, who ends up at third base with a leadoff triple.
Well, Emilio, if he can hit the ball in the gap, rarely does he stop at second base. If it goes to the wall, he's got a legitimate shot at getting to third base because he gets from first to almost second base quicker than anybody. This ball right here, another knuckleball that stays up, and that's something you got to watch with R.A. Dickey. When they start staying up and not dropping, that means trouble usually. One hops the wall, and then they got a little indecisive. Ghost finally ends up picking up the ball, but easily to third base is Bonifacio.
Eric Hosmer goes after the first pitch. For Bonifacio, that's his 27th career triple, his second triple this season. Ground ball through the left side, base hit. Bonifacio jogs home with a second Royals run of the afternoon. Hosmer picks up the RBI, his second hit.
Again, watch the location. The knuckleball stays up and just hammered through the hole on the left side.
Well, that's a great example of Hosmer keeping his head right on the baseball. He cashes in. Bonifacio, who had the leadoff triple. Well, the Royals have their plans about first pitch. They are jumping on the first pitch they see from Dickey. 2 runs on 5 hits for Kansas City.
You think about the philosophy against R.A. Dickey. Here's a knuckleball pitcher, right? And he's got to locate. He wants to get ahead. It's so critical for him to get ahead in the count, because if he gets behind, he's still got to throw a knuckleball, and then he can't do it again without trying to take something off and locate it. He is not going to be effective with his second and third pitches. He's got to use the knuckleball. So if you go up there thinking he's going to get a little get me over knuckleball the first one, if he gets ahead of me, then he can throw the hard one, which is awful difficult to hit.
1-2 to Butler. Foul down the right side. Kansas City got off to a terrible start with the bats. They brought in George Brett as an interim hitting coach for 2 months. And to a man, they said the addition of Brett and Pedro Grifol, the man in the screen there, is the assistant to Brett. What they did was they rebuilt the confidence of the young hitters.
Well, what the neat thing they did is they brought Pedro in with George. It wasn't like he replaced George. He was there working with the kids. When George flat out told him, look, I might not know how to teach hitting, but I know you, and your name's Eric Hosmer, and go hit like you're Eric Hosmer. And I think he built confidence in the guys. Grifol was more the technical guy. He was the guy that worked with them, and when George left, he was able to just transition over to Pedro.
Ball chopped towards shortstop. Reyes takes the scoop on the short hop, and all they can get is Butler at first. Little chopper over the mound. Hosmer moves to second on the 6-3 putout. Reyes made a nice play on that ball. It stayed down. He had to play it on the short hop, but he had plenty of time. He was aware that Billy Butler was the runner up the first baseline.
So many of the Royal hitters that we talked to in the last couple of days talking about George Brett said all he did was give us confidence. And when you think about it, this game is all about the mental approach. When you're confident, you're going to go out there with very few worries or concerns. You're just going to relax and play. And whether you're a hitter or a pitcher, when you're confident, that's 90% of the battle.
Moustakas pulls it to Encarnacion. Big hop, and Encarnacion steps on the bag. 2 down.
Save during the Beauty Tone Paint Expert Sale, only at Home Hardware and Building Center locations. Homeowners helping homeowners with expert advice.
Saturday afternoon baseball at Rogers Center. 2 outs. The catcher, Salvador Perez, goes after the first pitch again. The Royals don't want to get behind Dickey in that knuckleball, so they're swinging at that first pitch. Royals have added a run here in the top of the 3rd. Leadoff triple by Bonifacio, an RBI single by Eric Hosmer. Off the end of the bat. Dickey knocks it down, takes his time, and goes to first to end the inning. The Royals get 1 and leave 1. They've taken a 2-0 lead after 2.5. presented by Sportsnet 590 The Fan. Win a trip for 4 to Toronto to see the Blue Jays take on the Tampa Bay Rays September 28th and 29th. The prize includes airfare, hotel, and a chance to throw out the first pitch at a Blue Jays game. Contest closes September 16th, so enter now at bluejays.com/allstatefan. Great opportunity to come here to Rogers Center and help the Blue Jays wrap up this 2013 season. Tampa Bay Rays, of course, trying to stay alive in the pennant race. Tampa Bay will get Matt Moore back into their rotation on Tuesday as he's coming off the disabled list. Tampa Bay currently 3.5 back of the Boston Red Sox in the AL East. They've lost 2 in a row. Tampa Bay and Oakland are tied for the first 2 wild card spots, 4 games ahead of Baltimore. Anthony Gose chops it to first. Guthrie's a good athlete and he beats Gose to the bag. 1 down.
A very good lead right there for Eric Hosmer too. He recognized that if he tosses it right to Guthrie, he's got to wait for the ball, so he led him like a quarterback would an end and led him right over the bag, which he was able to sprint to. Good play.
So back to the top of the order for the Blue Jays. Reyes lined out to center his first time up. Blue Jays had 3 hits in the first inning but couldn't score a run. Reyes waves at that outside pitch. Alex Gordon made a strong throw to third base to throw out Ryan Goins, who was trying to go first to third on a hit and run. Fouled straight back. Gordon picking up his 13th outfield assist of the season. Moved into the outfield permanently in 2011. Jeremy Guthrie, in his first full season with Kansas City, is now 13-10. For his career, he's 68-87. But this past offseason, he signed a 3-year, $25 million deal with Kansas City. The value of starting pitching. There's a liner down the right side, and that's over Hosmer's head. David Lowe gets over to cut it off. Reyes is trying to go to second. Here's the play, and he is out. 2 good throws from the Royals outfielders. First Gordon and now David Lowe. And Lowe throws a strike to second base to gun down Jose Reyes. Guthrie's getting good support from his defense.
Well, Lowe showing his good strong arm, but watch as Jose Reyes gets to first base. There is a little hesitation. Well, we don't see it on that angle, but there was a little hesitation whether he should go or whether he should stay at first. And that was just enough. Right there, he kind of takes a peek, then he turns it back on. The throw was offline a little bit, but a good strong throw and a great recovery. And Jose is out.
5th assist of the season for David Lowe from right field. He's got an assist as well from left field. Reyes was tagged out. This is popped up. Ryan Goins pops it up on the left side of the infield. Third baseman Moustakas is there, and what a turnaround inning. Good throw from David Lowe in right. Defense has supported Guthrie very well. The Royals have a 2-0 lead. TD Comfort Zone are TD Comfort Zone contest winners. Congratulations, and Ace is there to help you enjoy your afternoon. While over in the Jays Care Community Clubhouse are some very special guests from Sick Kids Hospital. Welcome to the ballpark. Hope you're all enjoying yourself and have some of that good food down there in the community clubhouse and enjoy the ball game. So Dickey is set. David Lowe, who made that fine throw, will lead things off. Another first pitch swing. Sierra backs up. He's got plenty of room in right. One pitch, one out for Dickey here in the fourth. So that'll bring to the plate Gerard Dyson, the center fielder. Kansas City has gone back to its roots by signing and developing athletes. Once again, speed is a big part of their game. They lead the majors in stolen bases. Pitching and defense, and of course, if you have speed, chances are you're going to have a good defensive club. Off the end of the bat, little looper. Reyes back quickly. He makes the catch. A little looping liner off the end of the bat. Dyson is retired.
As a pitcher, R.A. Dickey should recognize that they're swinging early in the counts. And that can really work in your advantage if you understand that. He can throw the changeup, get him out in front. He can take some off. Or he can throw that hard one and not worry about the location because they might tend to swing at it.
Shortstop Alcides Escobar had an RBI single his first time up. Dickey's got that one covered. A comebacker on 5 pitches. Dickey retires the Royals in order. Good defense from both sides. This time it's the pitcher. Line drive right to the glove side. Makes an easy play of it. We'll go to the bottom of the fourth. Kansas City has a 2-0 lead. Check out a new 1-hour show called Fox Football Daily. You'll see guys like Randy Barber, Randy Moss, and Brian Urlacher. They'll have all the latest news and analysis. Fox Football Daily, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. Weekdays on Sportsnet 1. Thursday night, the Ravens and Broncos will kick it off. The NFL season opener from Denver. Blue Jays trying to solve Jeremy Guthrie. They have touched him up for 4 hits, but have yet to cross the plate. Encarnacion had a single to left field his first time out, but he was one of 2 base runners stranded in the first. Guthrie's ahead, 0-2. Jeremy Guthrie came to the big leagues with the Cleveland Indians. He signed a 4-year major league contract out of Stanford. And it was a major league contract, but really became a problem for Guthrie because he ran out of time with the Indians and was placed on waivers. He was claimed by Baltimore and then worked with the Orioles and worked his way into their rotation. Hot shot knocked down by Moustakas. Escobar retrieves, but not in time. It'll be a base hit for Encarnacion, his second hit of the afternoon. Boy, Moustakas got a glove on it, but all he could do was deflect it over toward the shortstop.
See Moustakas take a dive there, little one-hopper, kind of tried to get his glove in front of it, didn't stick in his glove. If it would have, he might have had a play at it. Second time Edwin's hit the ball hard to that side of the infield.
That was his 1,000th career hit. They took the ball out of play and threw it into the dugout. So congratulations to Edwin Encarnacion for that milestone hit.
Just makes you appreciate those guys in the 3,000 hit club. Ichiro with 4,000 total professional hits.
Lynn hits it on the ground. Bonifacio goes to first to retire Lynn. Encarnacion moves up on the play. There's the ball. Mark DeRosa has that historic baseball for Edwin Encarnacion, and it is a milestone, and you're right. It really makes you appreciate the Jeters of the world and the guys that have racked up 3,000 hits. And Edwin has been a good player for a number of years now. And that is his 1,000th career hit. There are now 92 active players with 1,000 hits. So he reaches that 1,000 hit plateau. This his 9th season. And Flory hits it hard, and Escobar will chase Encarnacion back to second. Lori's retiring.
Come find out why more Canadians trust Mr. Lube's trained technicians with their oil changes than any other quick lube. We're #1 for a reason. Take good care.
Saturday afternoon, the roof is closed at Rogers Center. Blustery day outside, comfortable temperatures, but there are rain showers in the area. Rajai Davis fouls it back to give you an idea of how difficult it is to accomplish 2,000 hits. There are only 17 active players with 2,000 or more hits. We all know about the great David Ortiz and the kind of hitter he is. He has 1,994 hits. So he has still yet to reach that 2,000 hit plateau. Jason Giambi, 1,998 hits.
You know, you just think about the durability a guy has to be. #1, he has to have almost 200 hits a season. Then he's got to do it for 20 years.
So we'll go to the 5th. Kansas City with a 2-0 lead. Now time for a Blue Jays Central update. Here's Jamie Campbell and Greg Zahn in the Blackberry Broadcast Studio. First year in the American League East. His first 14 starts, 5.11 ERA. Jack, he's improved much lately. What's the difference for Dick?
I think he's relaxing. Obviously, there's no pressure. This team is eliminated for all practical purposes. They're not pushing for a playoff berth. Early in the year, they were expected to win. There was a lot of pressure on him. He's the #1 starter, and he was expected to go out there and shut down the likes of the Boston Red Sox, the Yankees, and the Tampa Bay Rays and Baltimore. Just didn't happen. But now he's more relaxed because the Jays, let's face it, are just not going to be in this race.
Leadoff man Alex Gordon is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Dickey's had troubles here at this ballpark for the season. He's 5-6 at Rogers Center with a 5.48 ERA. And the home runs have really hurt him here. 20 of his 29 home runs allowed have come at this ballpark. It's really interesting, too, when you look at Mark Buehrle and his breakdown. Buehrle, much like Dickey, not an overpowering pitcher, but he has pitched to an 8-2 record here at Rogers Center with a 2.72 ERA.
Yeah, two pitchers with the opposite results, home and away. And I think it's just about focus. I think RA has the ability to pitch better in some of the bigger ballparks, and Mark Buehrle just likes to perform at home. I think he really enjoys the people here. Not that RA doesn't enjoy the people here, but I think he's been able to focus better here at home.
Shattered bat that's going to bounce all the way into the outfield. The barrel goes out there into right field, and that thing turned into some kindling.
The one other thing that Mark Buehrle's done a better job of here all year long at home is eliminating the long ball. Dickey's given up a lot more home runs at this ballpark than Mark Buehrle has.
Do you think it has anything to do with the ballpark in putting that focus on Buehrle, knowing full well if you don't make good pitches here, you're going to get hit?
I think pitchers have to be aware of their environment. They have to understand that this is a place where I need ground balls.
There's a ground ball, easy plate for Dickey. He's handled everything. Tapped back to the mound. That'll bring to the plate Emilio Bonifacio. We had two of the fastest guys in the game in this series, and Bonifacio can really fly. So can Anthony Gose. Check him out.
This is a fun little video. Literally shows how quick both these guys are. Hall in the mail. Hall in the mail. Look at him go. Emilio tags it first, and I think if there was a flat-out race, he would win by a step. Fun to watch.
Different styles for sure. Gose has longer, smoother strides, and Emilio really has a fast rhythm
fast
to his step.
tempo.
So there's one out, ball and a strike to Bonifacio. He tripled and scored in the third. Gose hit his triple in the fifth in last night's game.
Another guy that once he gets going has a beautiful stride, and that's Colby Rasmus. Doesn't get a lot of triples, but first to third he'd probably be very close to those guys. Rajai Davis probably the fastest of all of them for 90 feet, but they know how to turn the corner around second base.
Fouled into the glove of Josh Thole. Another strikeout for Dickey. That's his third of the afternoon. Check that score. They had 3 strikeouts in the first inning.
And this is just a fastball here, a tailing fastball. You can see it run. He gets underneath it and just tries to kind of feather it. Ball runs up and away.
Bonifacio telling Perez that was a fastball. He just threw it upstairs, and I was a little bit late. Hosmer with an 0-1 count. Lays off that inside pitch. Eric Hosmer's 2 for 2 this afternoon. His average up to 298. Ned Yost has been very complimentary of the way Hosmer has grown into one of the leaders on this team. He's just in his 3rd season. He's only 23 years old, but he's an everyday player that hits in the middle of the lineup. And he has taken on a leadership role on this ball club. Don't you think you need a leader for your pitchers and a leader for your position players?
I think on great teams, every day somebody new is a leader. And that's what makes it so much fun. And you've got quality people and quality players, and they all believe in the same theory. They want to go out and win. Everybody helps everybody. And that's the beauty of baseball. That is something you can't put into any kind of mathematical formula. It comes from the heart.
Ned Yost, of course, grew up as a coach under Bobby Cox down in Atlanta. 12 years with the Atlanta Braves as a coach. 2 outs. Billy Butler with a big swing on the first pitch. Little bouncing ball toward third. Laurie has plenty of time, and he throws in time to retire Butler. Billy Butler is done. The Blue Jays leave another base runner, but they trail Kansas City 2-0. Listen to live audio, follow games pitch by pitch, and enjoy in-game video highlights. The app is available on the iPhone, iPad, iPod Touch, Android, and BlackBerry Z10. Season-long subscription packages are available. Visit BlueJays.com for more details. At 13 is the official app of Major League Baseball. Major League Baseball, the trade deadline is today. And if you're going to bolster your roster, you have to have him into your organization before today for him to be eligible to participate in the postseason. There have been some minor moves. Canadian John Axford went from Milwaukee to St. Louis to bolster the Cardinals bullpen. Cardinals right now have their hands full with the Pittsburgh Pirates. Cardinals have lost 8 of 13 to Pittsburgh so far this season. They lost the opener of that series in Pittsburgh. Says foul back by Josh Tolley. Pittsburgh has shut out the Cardinals 4 times this year, and Francisco Liriano was terrific last night. 8 innings of 2-hit ball. He's got 15 wins now.
Yeah, what a turnaround year for Liriano coming over from the Twins to Pittsburgh.
Tolley fights it off and stays alive. It's 2-2.
Getting close to that witching hour on which teams can expand their rosters also.
They can expand their rosters tomorrow, September 1st, and clubs in the pennant race are going to do just that. Pitch missed inside. Tampa Bay has announced that they'll bring up Delman Young, Luke Scott, and activate Matt Moore. Also, the catcher Chris Jimenez will come up to give them some depth behind the plate. Full count. Hit hard, but right to the second baseman, Bonifacio. 1 down.
Save during the Beauty Tone Paint Expert Sale, only at Home Hardware and Building Center locations. Homeowners helping homeowners with expert advice.
The Ted Rogers statue outside of Rogers Center. It was unveiled earlier this summer in a tribute to Ted Rogers, who made sure the Blue Jays would be a big part of this community for the long term. Purchased the Blue Jays from Interbrew, a Belgium brewery. There's a cutter for a strike. Moises Sierra popped up in foul ground to the first baseman. Guthrie jams him with that heater.
Both pitchers working quick, and they're getting a lot of contact early in the counts.
Two balls and two strikes. Foul tip held onto by Sal Perez. Guthrie racks up another strikeout. That's 3 on the afternoon for Jeremy Guthrie.
Throws the slider off the plate, commands it away, and Sierra reaches out after it.
So 2 outs, bottom of the 5th. Guthrie reminding his first baseman that he'll be at the bag on a ground ball to the right side. Anthony Gose tapped back to the mound his first time up. Anthony Gose is working daily with Chad Mottola, trying to eliminate his leg kick. He's a young hitter that's always utilized that leg kick as a timing mechanism, and oftentimes you get to the big leagues and find out that there are too many moving parts in your swing to time up major league pitching. Trying to refine that approach. Drives this ball into left field. It's going to hang up for Alex Gordon. Another 1-2-3 inning for Guthrie. We'll go to the 6th, and here comes the Home Hardware cleanup crew. Brought to you by Natura. Home Hardware's exclusive line of safe, environmentally friendly cleaning products. And we're talking about the Royals and their youth movement, how their current roster reflects an awful lot of talent from very young players.
It's all a product of losing seasons, but using good choices in their drafts, and all of that is finally coming to fruition for the Royals and some of these young players that are the bright spot, the future for this organization.
Kansas City wants the benchmark for winning organizations, and this ball is hit high in the air down the right side and back out of play. But the Royals are looking for their first winning season in a long time. You got to go all the way back into '93. Kansas City won 84 games that year. That's their last winning season. This ball is popped in the air into left field. Davis is there. Moustakas is retired. This was a team in Kansas City that in the middle 70s into the 80s was a winner every year.
Yeah, they had it all going. They had speed, they had power, they had defense, they had pitching, and they were in postseason a lot because of all of those. And you're right, Buck. They were the poster child, what everybody tried to be like. I think in a lot of ways the Toronto Blue Jays patterned themselves after the Kansas City Royals.
Yeah, I really do. I think they emphasize scouting and development and deep farm systems. And the same thing the Royals are doing now and what they got away from for a while. But they have gone back to the farm system, and many of their position players, many of their impact players are homegrown, including Salvador Perez, 23-year-old catcher. Laurie continues to shine. How about that play? I tell you what, Brett Laurie might not get the attention of Evan Longoria, but he's just as good as Longoria in my mind.
For the last month plus, it seems like Brett Laurie makes one of these kind of plays every day. Every day is a highlight reel for Brett Laurie, and he's starting to make it look so natural. Look at how relaxed he looks. No problem. Get the ball, throw it. Yeah, I do that every day. No big deal.
Well, he does do it every day.
And that's just it. He knows what he can do.
I tell you what, he has really started to mature as a player. When he first got here, he wanted to run through every wall and hit every pitch he saw. Now he's understanding you got to pick your spots. And he has done a heck of a job of utilizing his great skills. David Lowe hits one right past R.A. Dickey, who himself is a great fielder, but Lowe hit it underneath his glove. Watch Dickey's glove. He's upset at himself.
Yeah,
he had a chance to make a play right there.
You saw the last inning, the last out of the inning, the ball was hit right back at Dickey. Actually, that was 2 innings ago. It was Escobar who hit the ball right back at Dickey, and he just flipped the glove right out there. It was right at his waist. That one he actually had to bend a little for. Didn't quite get down on the ball.
David Lowe took an aggressive lead with 2 outs. Gerard Dyson 1 for 2. Dyson shows bunt and takes it up and away.
You're making a point earlier in the broadcast about Salvador Perez and his big hands and little tiny glove. Well, Josh Thole has to use that big basket glove catching a knuckleball, and being able to get rid of a ball so much more difficult when you have a huge glove.
And that's why it's imperative that R.A. Dickey keeps an eye on David Lowe, help out his battery mate. You can see the size of that glove.
Huge.
When you go into that glove to find the baseball, it's like trying to find a BB in a trash can. All you come up with is leather. You can't find the baseball.
Yeah, you know, you always want to catch the ball in one spot. Everybody does. The spot that they feel comfortable, they want to catch that ball. But the reason a catcher uses such a big glove on a knuckleball is because they don't know where it's going to go all the time. So they're able to catch the ball, but not necessarily pick the ball out and throw it.
Dyson slices it out of play. Well, you're right about that. And you have to get the biggest glove possible. At the same time, you want a light glove, one that you can move around. And you can see that looks very much like a first baseman's mitt. And some of the first knuckleball gloves were basically softball catcher's gloves. Benito Santiago used one of those to catch Charlie Huff. Fouled at the plate, may have got Dyson off the foot. When you mentioned Charlie Hough and R.A. Dickey, they certainly had a relationship, and Dickey credits 3 knuckleball pitchers for helping him. Charlie Hough, Phil Niekro, and Tim Wakefield. And he took something from each of those 3 pitchers and put it into his own pitching style, and it certainly served him well.
Heard a little bit from Charlie Hough about R.A. Dickey early in the year. He just did a great job of explaining the adjustments that a knuckleball pitchers have to make when they transform into from a regular pitch selection type pitcher to a knuckleball specialist.
Bounce toward first. Easy play for Encarnacion. He steps on the bag to end the inning. The Royals leave another base runner, but we'll go to the bottom of the 6th with the Jays trailing 2-0. Preview issue for breakdowns and predictions on every team. Subscribe today at sportsnet.ca/magazine. Beautiful cover with Adrian Peterson of the Vikings on the cover. RG3 about to embark on another season for the Redskins. You can check it all out on Sportsnet magazine. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning. Kansas City has made the most of their 6 hits. Alcides Escobar and Eric Hosmer with the RBIs. It's a 2-0 game. Get me over breaking ball for a strike to Jose Reyes. Reyes hit a hot shot down into the right field corner. David Lowe, the right fielder, made a great throw to nail him at second base. Not only did Lowe make a good throw, Alcides Escobar made a nice tag. It was wide of second base, and he dove back in once he caught the ball and tagged Reyes before he hit second. Pull to the right side. Leadoff base hit for Reyes. He's 2 for 3.
Second time the leadoff man has been on. Edwin got on to lead off the 4th inning.
Second baseman Ryan Goins extended his hit streak to 8 straight games to start his big league career. He singled in the first. Goins, a former 4th round pick of the Blue Jays, batting .429 early on. He's now 25 years old. Reyes dives back in ahead of the throw from Guthrie. Goins played his way through the Blue Jays minor league system, basically step by step. Down and away. Ball and a strike. Ryan really had a breakthrough season in the Midwest League in 2010. He had 308, had 91 hits in 77 games. And then it just got better and better for him. In New Hampshire, he led the Eastern League with a team high 158 hits. Hit 298 that year in Double-A. Gonna have to get some new lumber, hit that ball off the end of the bat. Jack, the thing that's impressed me about Goins is he's played just 32 games in the minor leagues at second base before coming up here to the big leagues, and he looks very comfortable at second.
Yeah, the real difference is the way you turn a double play. As a shortstop, you're coming towards first base. As a second baseman, you're basically going away or across the bag to throw, but he's made that transition almost effortlessly. And he's just a natural fielder. He's got good range and a good strong arm, so he's making it look easy.
He's got a battle here. Guthrie's ahead 1-2. Nobody out. Reyes at first, and he draws another throw. Good breaking ball. Goins strikes out, first out of the inning. One down here in the bottom of the sixth. Fourth strikeout for Jeremy Guthrie.
Well, he starts this breaking ball right on the inside corner and breaks it down off the plate. Goins swings right over the top of it.
Edwin Encarnacion picked up his 1,000th career hit his last time up. He's 2 for 2. Encarnacion looking for his 100th RBI, sitting at 99. Bounced into dirt and blocked easily by Perez.
One thing Perez does so well is block balls, but what he does about blocking balls so well is the balls don't ricochet to the right or the left. They stay right out in front of him, kind of showing the base runners, look, go ahead if you want, I've got the ball right here. There's a big difference when you see a ball ricochet to the left or the right of the catcher and the one that stays right in front of him.
Bouncing ball. Moustakas hit third, goes to second for one, back to first. Double play. What a turn by Bonifacio. That didn't look like a double play ball. Moustakas was deep at third. Bonifacio with a quick turn. It's the double play for Jeremy Guthrie. Moustakas very deliberate, but look how quick Bonifacio is in time to double up Encarnacion. giveaway will take place Sunday, September 29th. It's presented by Allstate. The Blue Jays will take on the Tampa Bay Rays. It's a 107 start. The first 20,000 fans will receive a Blue Jays toque. Call the Blue Jays at 416-341-1234. Log on to BlueJays.com or stop by most Rogers Plus locations. When I came here in 1981, they told us we were going to have toque day. I thought it was something to eat. I'd never heard of a toque before I came to Toronto. Did you have toques in Minnesota?
I've never heard it called that. It looks like Grandma's knitted stocking cap to me.
That's what it is. But it's a toque. Ball on a strike. When I first got here, I was at Exhibition Stadium, and I ran down to the bullpen one of my first games, and a fan leaned over and said, "Are you the new back catcher?" I said, "What? Are you the new back catcher?" I said, "Oh, I guess I am." I hadn't heard that right either. There's strike three called. Escobar strikes out. That's how the seventh starts.
Save during the Beauty Tone Paint Expert Sale, only at Home Hardware and Building Center locations. Homeowners helping homeowners with expert advice.
Lots of people on Lake Ontario enjoying this Labor Day Saturday. Roof is closed here as there are threatening showers in the area. Alex Gordon is 0 for 3 with a strikeout, and he gets his first hit of the afternoon. A one-out base hit. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. He's got an update for us. Ivan Nova has pitched 5 2/3. He's allowed just 2 hits, hasn't walked a batter and struck out 4. He has pitched very well for the Yankees. Scott Feldman, he's only allowed 4 hits and a single run. He too hasn't walked a batter. Bonifacio goes after the first pitch. Isn't it interesting how every start, every inning, every pitch really comes into focus now as we're on the eve of September?
Well, especially for the teams with playoff intentions.
The Yankees are 8 games back in the East. Baltimore 7.5 back, so they could flip-flop in the standings. In the wild card race, Baltimore is 4 back of the second wild card spot. Yankees 4.5 back. A lot of baseball to be played.
Whole month, the month of September still ahead. Only 2 teams totally eliminated already, the Houston Astros, the Miami Marlins.
Oh, 0-2 pitch to Bonifacio. Cut on and missed. Another strikeout for Dickey. 2 strikeouts in the inning. 6 on the afternoon.
Struck him out with a fastball his last time up. This time you can see the knuckles just popping that ball. And he'll swing it underneath it.
Dickey has thrown 90 pitches. And we talk about pitch count because it's such a prominent part of this game today. Tom Seaver was asked about that in the Daily News article in reference to Matt Harvey, who had suffered the injury, and Seaver said pitchers these days are baby. There's a fly ball to right. That's a conversation we will continue when we come back. R.A. Dickey is through 7 innings, but he trails the Royals 2-0. telecast is presented by authority of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership. Heck of a ball game going on here at Rogers Center. Good crowd on hand. 34,315 in attendance. Another great Junior Jays Saturday. It was Blue Jays lunchbox giveaway day today. And it has always been a popular day to come to the ballpark on Saturdays here at Rogers Center. Adam Lind will try to get something going. Blue Jays are being shut out on 6 hits by Jeremy Guthrie. Well, we mentioned the Tom Seaver article written by Bill Madden, the Hall of Fame writer for the New York Daily News, and Tom Seaver is suggesting that pitchers in his day pitched. They threw a lot of innings. They built up the stamina. And some people criticize Seaver, but I think he's 100% on the mark. I think we value pitching, and rightly so. It's expensive. There's no question about it. It's a big part of the game. But I think they are improperly trained as an industry. It's not one team over another. I just think as an industry, we put too much stock into radar guns. And there's a man that is everything you talk about. He doesn't miss any starts. He hasn't missed a start in his career. He's not a max effort guy. He changes speeds and commands the strike zone.
Well, kind of as an afterthought to that article, Tommy John, the great pitcher himself, who pitched many, many, many years, 20-some years himself, he came out and said that the radar gun is to blame for all this.
Lind hits a hot shot gloved by Hosmer, who feeds Guthrie perfectly for the first time. Time now for the smooth play of the game, brought to you by Bacardi Oakard Smooth Spiced Rum. Bacardi is a proud partner of the Toronto Blue Jays, and when you talk smooth plays, oftentimes you're talking about the third baseman. Brett Lawrie takes one away from Sal Perez. That was destined to be an extra base hit, but Lawrie makes it look easy. His lateral range is as good as anybody's in the game. Another smooth move by Brett Lawrie down at third. But your point about Tommy John, he said the radar gun.
The radar gun is really the cause of a lot of problems. He said what it does is give people that are not qualified to judge talent a tool to judge it. And he said, I have an academy. He says, I welcome a lot of young kids. I won't teach you to throw harder. I'll teach you how to get guys out. And I think that's what baseball needs to get back to, is understanding that all of the technology in the world doesn't matter if they can't apply it on the field. And Tommy John basically saying it's more than how hard you throw. It's how you throw, how you read the hitters, how you execute your pitches, all the things that Mark Buehrle has done so well recently. R.A. Dickey doing a good job of it today.
Yeah, and I think when you talk about some of the greats that pitched for a long time, there's Rajai Davis hit. That's going to get down in center field. Davis is headed for second. Here's the throw from Dyson. It is not in time. Rajai Davis hustling out of the batter's box gets a double. His 14th double. It comes with 2 outs here in the 7th.
Well, we need to get Rajai to get a triple there so we could have 3 individual pitchers of Ghost and Bonifacio and Davis all running together, but Rajai can flat out haul the mail himself.
Watch his slide at second and how he uses that straight leg to get to the bag very quickly. Not using a hook slide, but extending that leg straight to beat the tag of the shortstop. 2 down, Josh Thole, the catcher. But the radar gun is such a crutch in evaluation, and it really is a disservice. There's so many guys that can pitch, never light up a radar gun, but continue to have success. Jamie Moyer pitched forever. Tommy John never concerned about velocity, concerned about getting outs.
Somehow I feel like that's still important.
Yeah, but you're a pitcher. That's everything the game is about. We saw a great game last night. The Blue Jays did a terrific job of winning 3-2. They had just 4 hits in the game. They got a good pitch from their starter. The defense was on their toes all night long.
Works quick, keeps the defense sharp. They make those good plays. They respond to the effort that the pitcher is giving them, and they manufacture a few runs, and it just makes for a great baseball game.
Tell you one thing too, pitching is expensive. Defense isn't. You can get guys that can run them down. Guys like Santana that signed for double-digit million-dollar contracts a year. But defense, you get some speed, you get some guys that can run them down. That'll make you good. This is a foul ball, hit hard but foul.
Well, you look at the Blue Jays outfield right now, and they're barely above minimum wage. Go, Sierra, and Pilar. Today, obviously, Rajay's playing left field. Now you got a young second baseman doing a great job defensively in Ryan Goins.
Third baseman.
Third baseman, very little major league time. He's one of the rising stars of the game.
He's going to be in Gold Glove discussions. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Off the plate. Full count. Sierra on deck. Blue Jays down by 2. The Royals bullpen is quiet. Guthrie made another good pitch. There's that fastball you're talking about, right on the hands, and it's a tough pitch to handle.
You know, I get a kick out of some of the critics about Tom Seaver. And I just say to myself, how can you argue about a guy just because he had a tremendous work ethic, just because he was able to maintain just a strong, durable body? There's people picking him apart saying he was a freak. He wasn't a freak. He worked for it. He earned it.
Another foul back. He was a freak because he worked hard and he would accept nothing less than perfection.
Yeah.
That's the same thing I always think about Greg Maddux. People say, well, Maddux was unusual. You know what? He was unusual because he understood pitching.
Yeah.
He worked at his craft. He would never light up the radar gun. And you look at Maddux pitch, and he commanded the plate, and he commanded the tempo of the at-bat.
Maddux may have been the best one ever at deceiving the hitter for hiding the ball, number 1.
That's a fair ball down the left field line. Davis is going to score easily. Tolley is headed for second. Here's the throw, and he is out on another strong throw from Alex Gordon. But Tolley puts the Blue Jays on the board. An RBI base hit to left. Gordon with his second outfield assist. Kansas City with a 1-run lead. Rumored to be headed out of town, and the Pittsburgh Pirates get a terrific player. Morneau having a good month of August. Josh Tolley with an RBI single, but Alex Gordon guns him down at second to end the inning.
How important is defense? Well, it gets a pitcher out of an inning after a base hit that could have prolonged it.
They always talk about hustling, trying to get yourself in scoring position, but sometimes you got to turn the base, look up, and if that throw's on line, just stop it first. Billy Butler bounces the ball near the bag at second. Goins throws him out. Morneau, for the month, has hit 9 home runs and driven in 21 runs for Minnesota. A .250 average, but Pittsburgh's looking for production. And in that ballpark, that's a very inviting short porch and right.
It should really suit Justin Morneau well. He can hit the ball to all fields, but prefers pulling the ball. That's where his strength is. One left-handed hitting first baseman.
Mike Moustakas, the third baseman. We've been talking about pitching and defense, and Kansas City has had outstanding outfield defense here today. They have 3 outfield assists as you look at Neil Wagner loosening up. 3 outfield assists in one game has only happened 5 times this summer. The White Sox, the Marlins, Milwaukee, San Diego, and now Kansas City have recorded 3 outfield assists in the same game. And outfield defense can win you games, no question about it. Of course, when you throw out a base runner, your chances are throwing him out at the plate or erasing him from scoring position.
Well, another thing that goes unnoticed is outfielders that get to balls quickly so that the runners do not advance. They see that they close the gap, and they don't even try to make that extra effort to get to the extra base.
Moustakas pops it deep into center field, and Gose is there, 2 outs.
Save during the Beauty Tone Paint Expert Sale, only at Home Hardware and Building Center locations. Homeowners helping homeowners with expert advice.
So R.A. Dickey with 2 outs here in the 8th inning, trailing Kansas City 2-1. Sal Perez, the catcher, takes a strike.
Next pitch will be his 100th pitch.
Driven to right. Sierra has a beat on it, backs up in front of the warning truck. Dickey has a quick inning in the 8th. 3 up, 3 down. It took him just 9 pitches to set down the Royals in order. Now it's time for a Blue Jays Central update. Here's Jamie Campbell and Greg Zahn in the Blackberry broadcast studio. goes 7 innings. He'll turn things over to Kelvin Herrera, making his 51st appearance. Herrera, one of those young guns for the Royals, just 23 years old in his 3rd season out of the Dominican Republic.
Tremendous power arm right here. And he's been that setup guy for Greg Holland. The 2 of them just really making a difference in the bullpen for the Royals this year.
Back into this bullpen is loaded with big arms. We saw Luke Hochevar in last night's game. Greg Holland is the closer. Aaron Crow, he too gets it up there. And R.A. Dickey's in need of a couple of runs. It's a 2-1 ball game. Dickey has held the Royals to 7 hits. 34,315, acknowledging Munenori Kawasaki, who has come off the bench. He will bat for Moises Sierra. Sierra finished up 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Herrera misses with the first pitch at 98 miles an hour.
Kawasaki put into the ball game for one reason only. He's great at working the count. He will force Herrera to throw strikes here.
Catches the bottom of the zone. Kawasaki's 0 for 3 as a pinch hitter, but you're right. He's up here to get on base. Whatever it takes. Shows bunt, takes the ball. Mike Moustakas, the 3rd baseman for Kansas City. Not only is he guarding the line, but he is well in front of the bag to guard against the bunt. He's going to creep in even a couple of more steps. Bounce back to the mound, under the glove, and behind second, no play for Bonifacio. Kawasaki gets his first pinch hit base hit of the season.
Munenori does run well. He's not a super speed guy, but he gets out of the box quickly. That ball just under the glove of Herrera. And Bonifacio is able to get to it, but not able to throw out Kawasaki hustling down the line.
Right behind second base, Bonifacio wisely decided not to make a throw. So now Kawasaki represents the tying run at first. We're in the bottom of the 8th inning.
You got to believe they've got to try to bunt him over here. Ghost, a pretty good bunter. Moustakas in at 3rd base.
Ghost looked like he was anxious to square around early. And you're not trying to fool anybody.
No, this is where a pitcher needs to throw a strike and let the hitter bunt it. Hopefully you can make a play. If it's right back at somebody, defensively you can make a play.
Ghost takes it outside.
But if Ghost gets a strike, he's just got to put it down. The ideal play is to bunt it towards the 1st baseman, not the 3rd baseman, because that would bring Hosmer in. You have to have the 2nd baseman cover 1st.
Ghost given the green light to swing and chase the bad pitch. Would have been ball 2.
Getting a little tricky there, the old fake bunt swing.
Shows bunt, jabs at it, and fouls it off. Fundamental, something the Blue Jays aren't very good at.
And these are the kind of guys that need to be able to do it. Anthony Ghost, for him to stay in the big leagues and be a productive player, he needs to be able to bunt the ball.
We have seen him bunt for base hits effectively from time to time. 1-2. Kawasaki will dive back in ahead of the throw. Kawasaki is 7 for 8 in stolen base attempts. But you've got a cannon for an arm behind the plate in Sal Perez. Foul back. Perez just 23 years old. But you see where he ranks among the leaders. He is 4th in the American League. Joe Mauer, Matt Wieters, Chris Stewart doing a good job in New York. And then Sal Perez. I will say this, that Perez has the strongest arm of all 4 or 5 of those catchers.
What's amazing to me is you look at Joe Mauer, 6'4", Matt Wieters, 6'4". This guy here, Salvador Perez, another big catcher.
Foul back, you're right. Generally, it's a challenge for big catchers to get the timing and rhythm and release necessary to throw well. But again, I got to emphasize that glove is a small glove, even though he's a big guy. And when he goes into that glove, he can find the baseball very quickly and make the transition.
Transferring the ball from his glove to his hand is quick with the small glove, and then with the strong arm and accurate arm that he has, and he gets rid of the ball quick.
Ned Yost, the manager of the Royals, was a former catcher. And he first heard about Sal Perez, and they kept saying 175, 18. Those are the release times that he threw to second base. And Ned Yost goes, yeah, those are easy things to say, but I want to see it firsthand. Well, in his first game in the big leagues, he almost threw out a runner at all 3 bases against Tampa Bay. Picked a guy off first, picked a guy off third. Another foul back. He would have thrown out a guy at second base, but the umpire called the runner safe, and the Royals say he was out easily, but he's got that kind of arm. A game-changing arm. Blue Jays trying to rally here in the 8th. R.A. Dickey's done a good job of holding the Royals down in check. Upstairs, 2-2. And remember, too, the Royals had 3 outfield assists. Alex Gordon threw out 2 base runners. Goins at third base.
Well, Ghost in this at-bat failed to get down the bunt, and now he's asked to hit the ball. He's got to make contact and move that runner.
Pops it up. Shortstop Escobar makes the catch, 1 down. Jeremy Guthrie, the starter for Kansas City, is in line for the win. He throws 7 strong innings. Blue Jays get 8 hits, but just 1 run. He walks a batter, didn't walk anybody, struck out 4 through 92 pitches. But once again, Guthrie was helped by 3 outfield assists. 1 runner thrown out at third, 2 at second. Reyes fouls it into the glove of the catcher. Reyes has a pair of hits. He was one of the runners thrown out at second. David Lowe threw out Reyes in the 3rd inning from right field. Royals bullpen starting to work. Aaron Crow is the right-hander. Will Smith, the left-hander, just going back to get a drink of water. Ball on the strike. A good split finger pitch from Herrera, and Reyes is in the hole.
That ball just disappears straight down, throws it about 8 or 9. Actually a circle change right there. You can see the movement of the ball just sinks straight down, takes about 10 miles an hour off the pitch, and Reyes way out in front.
Little looper in center field. Bonifacio can't make the catch. Kawasaki had to hold his ground to make sure it was safely down. Reyes has his 3rd hit. over the glove of Bonifacio. He extends his glove, can't make the play on it. Kawasaki had to make sure the ball was safely on the ground before he advances.
Excellent base running right there by Molinari.
So Herrera will turn things over to Will Smith, the big left-hander, who will come in to face Ryan Goins when we come back. Rally, Blue Jays trying to close ground on the Royals. Kansas City leads at 2-1. New pitcher will be the left-hander Will Smith, making his 11th appearance of the season. Smith is now 24 years old. He was drafted and signed with the Angels in 2008 as a 7th-round pick. Kansas City picked him up in 2010 in a July trade, along with Sean O'Sullivan for Alberto Callaspo, who has since moved from the Angels to Oakland. So Ryan Goins with Kawasaki at second and Reyes at first. Breaking ball for his strike. Smith has a very good slider, and that's his bread and butter pitch. He's in here trying to get this left-handed hitter.
Yeah, he's in there basically for this at-bat and this out. The lefty Goins.
Now he's in here for one guy and one guy only.
Got the right-hander working in the pen right now, and more than likely Ned Yost will bring him in to face Edwin Encarnacion, who's on the on-deck circle.
Here's the 1-1 pitch. Pretty tough pitch to take, but it's inside. Will Little, the home plate umpire this afternoon. It's a 2-ball, 1-strike count. Kawasaki at second, Reyes at first. Slider tapped foul. Kansas City's outfield very shallow. Gordon, Dyson, and David Lowe, and they haven't seen Ryan Goins enough to really get a read on it, but Goins has got enough power to hit it over their head.
No question about it, but he's not taking those kind of swings off this left-hander, Will Smith, and painting away with the breaking ball, painted inside with a fastball.
Breaking ball right through the legs of the shortstop. Kawasaki's being waved home. Here's the throw to the plate, not in time, and the Jays have tied it up. Boy, if there was ever a double play ball hit, it was right there. Will Smith got exactly what he was looking for. A sharp grounder right to the shortstop, and it went right through Escobar for the air.
Well, the Blue Jays catching a break right there. Kawasaki doing a good job. Luis Rivera just waving him in. Perez just saying, no way, we got no chance at that one. That's a double play ball all the way. And would have ended the inning. Gives the Blue Jays life. Tie ball game.
Escobar may have been blocked out by Kawasaki, the base runner at second, but that ball went right through his legs. So now Smith stays on to face Encarnacion. Still 1 out. Two-two ball game. Two and 0. Oliver and Jansen warming up. '99 ribbies for the season. 3-0. And you can bet he's going to get the green light. Lynn, the lefty bat on deck.
Oliver comes in the game if the Jays remain tied. If they go ahead, it'll be up to Casey Jansen.
There's a strike right on the outside corner. Edwin with 2 hits today, including his 1,000th career hit in the 4th. Tried to check. Peel down to first, and Gary Darling, the crew chief, said he went around. R.A. Dickey battled and battled, and his team has tied it up here in the 8th. Full count, 1 out. Ball 4. Bases are loaded. So Lynn will give way to the pinch hitter, Mark DeRosa. You could see the bullpen with Aaron Crow ready down in the right field area. DeRosa announced as the pinch hitter. That's Aaron Crow who is ready. Doug Henry, the bullpen coach. Nan Yost wants to find out if DeRosa's been announced into the game. Yes, he is, so he will make a pitching change. DeRosa will pitch hit for Lynn. And there's the call for Aaron Crow, the right-hander. The Blue Jays have tied it. A big air committed by the shortstop. It's 2-2. When we come back, Aaron Crow to face Mark DeRosa. In the 4th inning, Edwin Encarnacion rips the ball off the glove of the third baseman Mike Moustakas, takes it safely to first. That's his 2nd hit of the afternoon, and he calls for the baseball. That's his 1,000th career hit in the major leagues. That's today's drive of the game. Congratulations, Edwin Encarnacion, for that milestone base hit back in the 4th. So Aaron Crow comes out of the bullpen, and you can see his strikeout numbers. He is a strikeout specialist, 53rd appearance of the season. Bases loaded, nowhere to put DeRosa.
He's a power type pitcher. Yesterday, Mark DeRosa came in and was blown away with 3 fastballs by Luke Hochevar. Today, Crow, he can get it up close to 100 miles an hour himself. We'll see how he pitches DeRosa.
Reyes, Goins, and Encarnacion, bases loaded. DeRosa fouls off the first pitch. Real strength of the Royals is their power arms at the end of the game. Mark DeRosa has been the Blue Jays' best pinch hitter all season long. Breaking ball, 0-2.
As a hitter, you just got to say, you got me there. I'm looking heater. And you're going to paint like that, you got me.
DeRosa with 5 career grand slams. Crow strikes him out on 3 pitches, 3 perfect pitches, 2 fastballs, 2 breaking balls, and a fastball, and that's the second out of the inning.
Absolutely huge out for the Royals. Jays down to the last opportunity now with runners in scoring position. A run would put them ahead and bring in the closer, Casey Janssen, to try to shut out the 9th.
Brett Lawrie, 0 for 3 so far this afternoon. Run-saving play by Sal Perez.
No question. How he got over and picked that ball, he's even a little surprised on that one. Just a filthy breaking ball that you only do that out of instinct and reaction.
He got his body in a good angle. He had his big body angled perfectly in case he didn't glove it. 2 balls, no strikes. 3-0. After 3 perfect pitches to DeRosa, Crow has missed on all 3 to Lawrie. Ball 4. The Blue Jays will take the lead.
And that gives R.A. Dickey the go-ahead run. He is now the pitcher of record to win this game. Nobody happier than he himself.
Ned Yost bullpen, which has been a strength. Ball 4. And Dickey has been given the lead. The Blue Jays scored 2 here in the bottom of the 8th. Rajay Davis lays off that fastball. Casey Janssen is standing by ready. Picked up his 25th save last night. A big error in this inning has contributed to the Blue Jays rally. Alcides Escobar, the shortstop, on a ball that looked like an inning-ending double play, kicked it right through his legs.
And now Crow having trouble locating home plate.
Dave Island, the pitching coach, out quickly to help his reliever. Boy, isn't it interesting how quickly the inning turned around? He makes 3 perfect pitches to Mark DeRosa and strikes him out, and then can't find the plate and walks Lawrie on 4 straight. Kelvin Herrera started it. He gave up an infield hit to the pinch hitter Kawasaki. Reyes got a bloop base hit. And then Will Smith came in and got the ground ball off the bat of Ryan Goins that Escobar committed the error. 2 outs, the bases remained loaded. A run in. 2 runs in to give the Blue Jays a 3-2 lead. 3-0. Ball 4. Back-to-back bases loaded walks. Aaron Crow has walked in 2. Ned Yost not happy with the strike zone. 8 straight balls thrown by Aaron Crow. Will Little, the home plate umpire. And Yost has called for Tim Collins, the left-hander. Ned Yost has just been thrown out of the game by the home plate umpire, Will Little. And now Yost is going to air out his complaints to the home plate umpire. He was on the mound when he was ejected from this game.
Well, Will Little made a call that Ned Yost argued late in the game yesterday. It was apparent that Little missed it big time. It was on that play that Bonifacio was called out on. So this really all started yesterday. You're not allowed to argue balls and strikes. He's chirping right there at Will Little, and that's the end of it for him.
Now, Yost wasn't pleased with the call last night on Bonifacio that came in the 8th inning when Little was at first base. Back-to-back bases loaded walks here in the 8th, and the Blue Jays have taken a 4-2 lead. New pitcher is the former Blue Jay, Tim Collins, who worked the 3rd of an inning in last night's game. Aaron Crow, back-to-back bases loaded walks, has allowed the Blue Jays to take the lead, but the defense contributing to this rally for sure. Tim Collins into the game. Josh Thole was the scheduled batter. He was catching R.A. Dickey. And now J.P. Arancibia has come out on deck, loosening up to pinch hit for Thole. The Blue Jays have used 3 pinch hitters this inning. Munenori Kawasaki led it off with an infield hit. Mark DeRosa pinch hit for Lind and struck out. And now J.P. Arancibia will bat for Josh Thole.
Bat around inning for the Blue Jays here, thanks to 3 walks that have scored 2 runs.
3 walks and a big error. 4-2 Blue Jays. First pitch strike. Breaking ball inside. It's a ball on the strike. Jack, the Kansas City Royals are experiencing an opportunity to play their way toward the postseason for the first time in a long time. And games get tougher and tougher to close out, especially for young players just going through it for the first time. Arancibia pops it into shallow right. Long run for David Lowe. He gets there and the inning is over. But the Blue Jays take the 4-2 lead. 3 runs in the bottom of the 8th. Casey Janssen into the ball game, looking for save number 26. in the ninth here. R.A. Dickey in line for his 11th win of the season. Casey Janssen coming into the ball game, his 48th appearance, looking for his 26th save of the season. JP Arencibia takes over behind the plate. He pinch hit for Josh Tolley. Kevin Pillar has come in to play defense in left field, and with that, Rajai Davis moves from left to right. Moises Sierra is out of the game. Janssen delivers a first pitch strike to David Lowe. Janssen gave up a couple of singles in his save effort in the ninth in last night's game. Ball on the strike. That hit him. It's the last thing Janssen wanted to do. He hit the leadoff man, and Lowe will go to first. Now for a preview of what's coming up on Connected, here's Barry Davis. Thank you, Barry. Pittsburgh Pirates concerned about Garrett Jones at first base, so they went out and got a hot bat in Justin Morneau for the stretch drive. Gerard Dyson, the center fielder.
It's funny how the world of baseball is. Garrett Jones used to be a guy that was plugged up in the minor leagues because as a Twins minor leaguer, there was a guy named Justin Morneau playing first base, and now because he gets hurt in Pittsburgh, Morneau comes over to replace him.
Come on and missed. It's 0-2.
Casey Janssen just needs outs right here.
Way outside. Janssen working in back-to-back ball games after a long drought of not working much at all. One and two. Outside. Two balls and two strikes. Come on and missed. Dyson's down on strikes. R.A. Dickey in line for the win. 8 strong innings by Dickey this afternoon. He gives up 2 runs on 7 hits, walked a pair, struck out 6, and threw 100 pitches. His ERA down to 4.30.
In line for the win. Casey Janssen doing the right thing with Gerard Dyson there. Gets behind in the count and throws him fastballs. You want this guy to hit his way on. He challenged him right there with a fastball and was able to strike him out. 1 down.
So the pinch hitter will be George Gutierrez. He pinched hit in last night's game in the 9th inning. Also for Escobar, lined out to the center fielder. Hit the ball hard. Gutierrez from Scarborough, Ontario. A chance to catch up with his family and friends on his return to Toronto. The Blue Jays are up by 2. Fouled into the glove of Arencibia. We'll be right back at it tomorrow afternoon. It all starts at 12:30 p.m. That's the pregame show with Jamie Campbell and Greg Zorn. It'll be James Shields for the Royals against Jay Happ for the Blue Jays. Shields at 9-8 with a 3.14 ERA in his first season with Kansas City. Jay Happ 3-4 on the season. Ball and a strike to George Kataris. He asked for time, and it's granted. Upstairs, just missed. David Lowe was hit by a pitch that started the inning, and then Dyson struck out. Outside, it's 3-1. Top of the order, Alex Gordon stands on deck.
Yeah, this is the guy that Casey Janssen needs to get. You do not want to bring the go-ahead run to the plate. He's got to come back here and get Kataris.
Perfect pitch on the outside corner. It's only the second time that Casey Janssen has worked in back-to-back games since the 12th and 13th of August. Into a long drought of inactivity. Ripped past Encarnacion into right field. Lowe initially stopped. He was looking at the third base coach and almost came to a complete stop at second, but then moves over to third. Kataris delivers the pinch hit single. Kataris is out of the game in favor of the pinch runner, Chris Getz. So Kataris delivers a sharp single to right.
Ball just under the glove of a diving Edwin Encarnacion. Gets past him. You can see right there, Lowe just kind of hesitant for whatever reason. Not running all the way through the bag. It gets there easily anyway.
Getz comes in to run for Kataris. Pete Walker to talk to Jansen and Aaron Seavey about where they are in the lineup. Of course, Alex Gordon. Alex Gordon made the last out of last night's game. Hit a ball sharply to the left of the second baseman, Ryan Goins, who made a nice sliding catch and threw him out to end the game. So the plan has been delivered. Jansen talking things over with Aaron Seavey and Walker. Now Aaron Loup, the lefty, begins to loosen up.
Well, Alex Gordon does have some power. He's got 15 home runs coming into today's game.
We mentioned Gordon hit a ball hard against Jansen last night, and he is 4 for 7 against Casey Jansen. Runners at the corners, one out. Jansen jumps ahead with a fastball. Gets at first base. He is 13 for 15 in steal attempts. Not running. Ball in the dirt. And Seavey smothers it. Of course, that extra 90 feet is crucial now. First, you want to keep the double play in order, but secondly, you want to keep that potential tying run off second.
Well, and a lot like yesterday's game, Emilio Bonifacio is the on-deck hitter, hitting in the number 2 hole. And Jays fans pretty much know what he's capable of doing. Really not the guy you want up with bases loaded There is a base open, but after him, it's Hosmer, Butler, and Moustakas.
2-1 pitch drilled into the seats down the right side.
Bottom line, you need to get out Alex Gordon right here.
Jansen has thrown 18 pitches now. He threw 16 in last night's game. 2-2. Breaking ball strikes him out. Boy, Jansen backed off that breaking ball and had Gordon way out in front, fooled him badly. Second strikeout of the inning for Jansen.
Okay, it's just understanding that Gordon is trying so hard to tie this game up, and he expands the strike zone, being over anxious. Casey takes a little off his breaking ball and keeps it down in the dirt. 2 outs.
David Lowe at third. The pinch runner Chris Getz at first. Emilio Bonifacio has 3 strikeouts so far. He struck out 3 times and tripled and scored. The Royals have scored 2 runs on 8 hits. The Blue Jays have scored 4 runs on 10 hits. One and one. Slow breaking ball hooked foul, and Jansen's ahead. And Sevilla out to talk things over. Dickey, an interested observer on the Blue Jays bench. He's in line for his 11th win of the season. 8 good innings from Dickey.
And the crowd on their feet here at Rogers Center anticipating that final pitch.
Down and in, it's 2-2. There goes the runner up and away. The throw to second is in time. The ball game is over. Aaron Sevilla throws a strike to second and guns down Chris Getz to end the ball game. Aaron Sevilla's made 2 good throws in the last 2 games. He made a strong throw on the money to end the ball game.
You can see Getz get a great jump. Second base umpire Jerry Meals calls him out, and that's it.
Jose Reyes celebrating the 3rd out of the inning. The Blue Jays win it. Aaron Sevilla with one of his best throws of the season. The Jays have made it 2 in a row. Stay tuned. Connected coming right up. Barry Davis will bring it all to you.